This is it, ladies and gentlemen. The final exit interview of my Lexus GSF. We're gonna go for a ride, talk about it, how my experience was, get into all the nitty gritty. I'm gonna miss this thing. I love the sound of the exhaust, this V8, high revving. But there's things that I dislike also, and we'll talk about everything. What's up, guys? Final video with the GSF here. Actually, there might be one more when the car's getting actually loaded up to the trailer and everything and going down to Texas. Here with my wife, she's my cameraman today. We are headed to return some stuff at a store for her. You know, ladies like to shop. So I figured this is a great opportunity since I have somebody to hold the camera. I could drive and talk and do like a Obsessed Garage style exit interview. So let's talk about why I am selling the GSF. I've had it since 2017. I bought it when it was basically a year old with 8,000 miles. Currently, at this very moment, it's sitting at 32,699 miles, so it's under 33,000. So Roy, you're getting a very low mileage, very well taken care of GSF. All the fluids have been changed more than once. Diff has been changed twice. Transmission has been changed twice, along with the transmission filter. You got coilovers here, exhaust, body kit, tinted windows, anything you need. And seeing your IS300 build, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stuff that you're going to do to this. Maybe even wide body this, put it on air. I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the build, and I'm definitely following along on your Instagram, and I hope you keep me posted with everything. With that said, let me talk about reliability of the car since I've had it. Absolutely zero issues that are anything of the car's fault. I had one ABS sensor go bad on me when I did the initial install of the coilovers, because I guess how I was installing it, you know, the wire got pulled a little bit and might have frayed inside, so that caused the ABS speed sensor to go bad in the back left side, which was replaced under warranty. My service advisor took care of that free of charge. Other than that, any recalls were done. The low pressure fuel pump recall that was buzzing, I didn't have that issue, but it was already addressed with the software. The high pressure fuel pumps were replaced because there was a recall that they might start leaking. So all of that is done. The last recall that actually just came in couple months ago is for the AC servos, where it causes the AC to not blow full cold air or whatnot. I don't have that issue. I mean, if you want to take it in, they could have it looked at. That's on your discretion. The car has the remainder of its warranty, which is like 6 years, 60,000 miles, so you still have that. But the car is solid. The engine has been proven from the 2008 ISFs that this thing is basically bulletproof as far as the engine goes. Trans is also pretty stout, although it is not the fastest transmission out there. I wish this car came with a ZF 8-speed transmission, because those things are just the best autos in the market right now. They're going into any production car from M5 to Jaguars to freaking pickup trucks. It's just a hands down the best transmission there is. But anyway, I digress about talking about that. Why I'm selling the car. Like I said, I had it since 2016, 4 years now. I've enjoyed it. I've lived with it. It's still a great car, and the only reason I'm selling it, and I sold it because the car market is absolutely through the roof. Okay? 5 years. But the car market is just insane. I mean, when I was looking to sell this about 2 years ago, I maybe would have got like 45 to 50 grand for it. But since all these chip shortages and these car shortages happened, I mean, the market just went through the roof. And since this car is no longer being produced, it's discontinued. Last naturally aspirated V8 sedan, Japanese. So it's a rare car. So the market value jumped up. So I jumped on the opportunity. Originally had it posted for like 63. I had one buyer at 59 that backed out because, you know, family issues came out, and now somebody came through and bought it. Power wise, 467 horsepower, 389 pound-feet of torque. Great amount of horsepower. Torque is a little bit lacking, But the thing that holds this car back the most for me, and why I chose to get rid of it after all these years, is because of two things. One, the gears in this car are way too long. Way too long. Let me demonstrate for you. Honey, if you could record the gauge cluster here. Hold it right there for me. All right, guys, so let me go down here. Third gear. We are well over 100 miles per hour in third gear, okay? That is ridiculous. I mean, for highway driving, that could be great. But like what I do mostly with this car is city street driving. I go to and from work. And this car is not very enjoyable street driving because the gears are so long. First and second, and you're doing like 80 something on the street just on top of second gear. There's no fun of banging gears, shifting through the gears, just feeling it. It's just 1 and 2, and the gears are so long, which takes away from the acceleration of this car because these gears are so long. Secondly, the thing that I'm kind of over is the transmission. You know, granted, once you put it in manual mode, from I believe like first through fourth gear, it locks up the torque converter so it shifts quicker. And yeah, when you're going flat out, and, you know, Sport Plus everything, the shifts are crisp up and down. But let's say you're semi-spirited driving in the city and you're in manual mode at lower speeds where you're nowhere near the top of the red line, you're around 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs. Terribly sluggish shifts. I'm not a fan of them. It doesn't rev match properly. It kind of jerks you when you're in a slower speed. Even my wife complains. She's like, can you just leave it in auto because it's so jerky? You know, so it's like, that's the only downside, the freaking transmission and the long gears. If they put a like 410 rear gear in the rear differential and a Z8 8-speed in this car I would never sell. It will be hands down an amazing car because I have the reliability of Lexus quality, everything else that comes with quality of Lexus. I wouldn't have to worry about nothing blowing like those M5 motors do. And I mean, I did everything to it. I have a great sounding exhaust. If I was to keep it, the only thing I would add is some headers for additional sound and free up a little bit of horsepower, but that's my takeaway. So, like I said, I've enjoyed it for all these years. I'm ready to move on to another project, get back into a forced induction car, which I'm leaning towards a turbocharged setup, because just with boost cars, the possibilities are endless, okay? You do downpipes, exhaust, intake, a tune, and you're making over 200 horsepower. Whereas here, if you need to make that kind of power, you need to spend 12 grand to get an RR supercharger. And then if you go stage 4 or a higher stage of the tune, you're risking blowing your motor, which I've seen happen, which I don't want anything to do with. Anyway, so the car's for sale. What do you think? I want you guys to comment below and give me an opinion of what you think I'm getting next. So, I mean, for those of you guys that follow me on the channel or on the Facebook page, you know that I'm always been a big fan of BMWs, but I'm not discriminating. Before I wanted this car, I wanted the Chevy ZL1 Camaro, which I went to see with my wife. We sat in it and I felt like I was in a bunker. So that kind of, and the interior materials were not the greatest, so that's kind of shied me away from that. I figured a big sedan was more mature, but now that I'm older, I feel like a kid again, and I need something faster and sportier and more fun to drive, since my wife was kind enough to donate her Honda Accord as my daily driver. Comment below, guys. Let me know what car you think I should get next. I'm personally leaning towards, I'll tell you right now, G80 M3 Competition, and that's my number one pick. The trouble that I'm having is deciding whether I want rear-wheel drive or the all-wheel drive setup, and it's so hit or miss with what I want to do, because this, that car's, maybe we'll see a track day once, drag strip by that I mean. Other than that, it's going to be daily driven, And yes, you know, all-wheel drive will get you out of the hole quicker, but for street driving, I think the rear-wheel drive is going to be much more fun and less problems down the road, because there's not going to be having to have issues with, you know, extra differential in the front to transfer the power. It's just, that's what I'm in between. I'd rather spend the $4,000 that goes into the all-wheel drive option and, let's say, get a full leather interior instead of getting that the all-wheel drive. So I'm still debating. It's no rush because there's no allocations on these cars. It's impossible to get it. The wait time is like 6 to 8 months turnaround time from the time you order till the car gets delivered. So at this point, I might as well wait till the 2023 LCI model is released with the refreshed headlights and taillights and order that. But other cars I also looked at is the CT5 Blackwing Cadillac. Big V8, sounds great, 10-speed auto, terrible gas mileage. And I mean, full tank of gas, from the videos that I've watched, it shows you like 190-mile range, which that is just absurd. So that's kind of being pushed to the side. I looked also again at the ZL1s, but I'm over that. I think M3 is just the best bang for the buck currently. That 3.0 inline six is just proven time and time again, from the S55 motor now to the B58 motor, or if I got that confused, correct me. But I mean, just so many people tune these things, and these motors are stout and they don't have many issues. So if you guys could comment below if you have a M3 and if you have the same dilemma between all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, comment below. Let me know what you chose, why you chose it, how do you use the car. I'm gonna miss this thing. It's fast, it's great looking, especially from the exterior. This thing breaks necks left and right. People say whatever they want to say about the front grille, but the front of this car is so freaking aggressive, especially what I did with the yellow, you know, daytime running lights, the front lip, the big grille that's blacked out. It just looks freaking mean, all right? So with that the channel might take a little break. My brother just blew his motor on his Civic, so we might have some content on that while he's trying to fix it. But I'll leave you guys with one last pull of the car, and it's gonna be it. Not even in Sport Plus. There we go. Goodbye, Lexus.
I love you.
You will be missed. All right, guys, this is it. Dropping off the car. Going to meet up with the driver at the forest preserve by my house. Goodbye, GSF. Here, just keep filming. He's taking pictures, and then I'm gonna help him load it. Should I pick it up?
Hold on. Did you pick it up?
Oh.